Okay, this is a short video about trading using bitmex, trading Bitcoin with leverage. So leverage is shown over here all the way from 1 to 100, and I put a trade in down here. So it's $7,000 and I paid in 700, and I've so far returned a 20% on the 700, so that's 140 based on this market price, which is not, if you see the pricing up here, these are the actual buying prices. So be careful. I know from experience that if you drop here on a market, you're not going to get this 20%. So you close on the limit, and you can see the limit here is 9731, but you're not getting 9731 here. So you really want to wait until this is the market price. You want to wait until these buying prices catch up a bit. Well, the main reason for this video was to show these Bollinger Bands and the graph here. So if we go into the graph, we will see when it loads. Right, so these are the Bollinger Bands, and these are two standard deviations from the mean. So here, these are the times. So about 9 o'clock today, there was this huge sell-off. You can see down there that was 21 million, 11, another 21, 23 million, and another 11. So we had 20, 40, we had about 60 to 70 million dollars of selling, all within a matter of 40 minutes. And due to the size of this market, that's significant, and you can see the effect it had on the price. However, if you can now look at the Bollinger Bands and you can go back, you can see how these limit the trade, or how they describe the trade. Obviously the trade itself is controlled through these volumes down here, but if we go now into the emergence of this new this new dynamic, you can see that once we've had this very significant volatility here, we've gone into a much narrow trading area. So this will mean that if you're in this sort of trading area, you can buy, for example, at this price 9658, and then you can sell up here at 9725, and you're likely to make this profit, and you can leverage that, and if you can leverage it up to 100 times, which means that you can trade with 100 times the more than you have. So if you put 1,000 in, you can trade 100,000, which means you only need a small variation here, which you can get, and then you can do the same thing again. So in this example, if you buy here, you can see you're going to get a return. Finally, if you bought at this price, the return would be around here, and then if you bought again at this price around here, the return would be here, and then if you bought again at this sort of price, the return would be here. Now obviously when you get this go on, that's the nature of the market. You basically are going to, if you buy here, you've basically not, unless you're going to wait forever, you've basically lost your money. So that's just the nature of the market, and you have to accept that as part of the risk. So if we go back into this line, so if this would be a sensible buying price, 95.39, with a view to selling around here, unless it breaks out as we saw down here. Now this was a breakout. You can see the same sort of cycle and then a breakout, but that breakout occurred due to this very, very high volume, which we're sort of getting up there with volume. I mean, but we're not there yet. These are 14 million. That's 14 million. So that's the purpose of this video, just to go through some of the basics on trading, so that when you are trading, Bollinger Bands are very widely used in finance. So if you can get some idea of what the trade is like to be, and this trade, unless it does break out, or unless you get another enormous sell-off like this, these are really the exceptions. If you go back to all this kind of trade, you can see this same sort of thing. These big swings, as you got your big swing up here, another big swing here, another big swing down here, they're more the exceptions, but again they can happen anytime. It just means a lot of people, as it happened here, were all selling. If everyone decides to sell here, then price is going to drop right down to here somewhere, and then all these people have lost their money. So so I'll wrap this up. So that's just a summary of Bollinger Bands and what you can do, and you can see that if you look at some of these prices, so you can see here the liquidation price 8752, and when we're absolutely nowhere near 8752. Liquidations when they will liquidate your position because the margins involved. Now I'm only buying at 10 times 10. I strongly recommend times 10 in these markets. I've done 25, 50, I've done 100, and I've made money on all of those. 100 is very, very narrow on the profit margins. So either you've got to be looking at something like this, where you're seeing clear evidence of a very strong upturn, or you're looking at a very narrow trading area. But you put times 100, you can lose your money in a matter of minutes. So we go back to this. So if you see these big heights, then these big jumps, you can then go 100. If you're actually watching this real time and you see this happening, you can buy here 100, and then you can just hold on until you start to see some big selling, and in this case that would be the big selling over here. So you'd most likely end up getting 96.30 versus a buy at 94.86. So it's just under $50, and then that's your profit, and then you're multiplying that up by 100, whatever you can put in. Anyway, so I just wrap that up here.